100.7 WHUD, Westchester and the Hudson Valley's #1 music station with night rhythms from Missy Higgins, Where I Stood. From Dolores to Raphael, thanks for listening on the road to New Paltz. Safe journey. Tonight in our Hudson Valley Artist Spotlight, favorite time of the week, we get really local with our music. We welcome Ben Sultan. Now, did you grow up in Westchester?
I was born in Mount Kisco, but we moved when I was 5 years old to Switzerland.
A cool experience, no doubt. So you got to enjoy the snow there?
Yeah, we went on a lot of ski trips, stuff like that. It was a lot of fun to travel through Europe and do all that kind of stuff. My dad was there on business.
How old were you when you returned to New York?
I came back here when I was 9.
Is there an artist or experience that made you want to be a songwriter?
I'm a huge Green Day fan. That was definitely my biggest influence to get into music. It wasn't until a band called Sum 41 that I decided I really wanted to play the guitar.
Read in your bio that you went to the University at Albany?
I went to school there for only a year, and then I went to SUNY Purchase, and I'm currently enrolled into Sarah Lawrence College grad program.
Sounds great. And what are you studying?
I'm going for elementary ed certification.
Good luck. So when you're not studying, you're out performing. How did you get started doing that?
When I really started performing was back in the summer of 2005 or 2006 when I met Justin Morori and Isaac Jaffe, who are my sort of backup band. They've helped compose the songs and stuff like that. They've really been there throughout the whole process. And the first gigs that we really did, we set up at my former high school, the Worcester School in Danbury, Connecticut. We ended up doing 3, we called them alumni rock shows at Worcester.
A good reason to return to your high school.
I play there still occasionally for their Amnesty fundraiser.
You've played at the Knitting Factory. What was that show like?
It was just a really fun night to see a lot of family and friends out there to see us play our biggest show yet. That was a good time.
I'll bet. And the audience must appreciate the humor in some of your songs. What is your songwriting process like, Ben?
I spend a lot of time just thinking about the subject I'm writing about, and they're usually really inspired moments, I guess I'll say, because I don't sit down and say I'm going to write a song today. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and write something down and look at my notebook later and think that's pretty good and then use that.
Now, the title of your album is Biggest Future Hits. Optimism in that, love it. Recorded locally?
This was recorded at Stark Raven Recordings. Fred Stark, he's a South Salem resident. He did most of this record with me.
Now, the a.d.d. song captures your humor, and you mentioned in your bio, alludes to a personal experience.
That's actually the only song off this album that I did write in Albany, and I was taking my intro psych class. The reason I mentioned that was because I wrote it during class while I was sitting in the back, because I think that a lot of times in class for me in high school, I was lucky to get a C, and it was definitely a rough time for me, but I've since then learned much better study skills and graduated with mostly A's in my last semesters of college. But I guess I got the idea to write it because I felt like there's a lot of kids in my generation who can really relate to the whole ADD situation. The song really just came to me, and I just wrote about the personal experiences. A lot of people can take the song the wrong way out of context, but I think the reason I like it so much is because it's not a novelty song. I think it just shows a more personal, lasting side of things.
Love your song Mood Ring. Is there an experience beyond the obvious that inspired that song?
I've been camp counselor at the Harvey Cavalier Camp in Katona. This will be my 10th year, and there's this one field that they have there that if you just look up at the sky, it just looks like a huge mood ring, and I just got the idea from that. And this idea that we live in a great place here because we're not quite in the city and we can appreciate the nature that's around us. It influences us in ways we might not realize.
Sure, even in the wintertime. Now, the song we're about to listen to is Coffee Girl. Was this written in a cafe?
It's one of my favorite stories to tell at concerts. I was working at Disney World in Orlando, Florida at the time for an internship, and my friend Greg and I decided to bring our guitars to work that day because we had a really late night shift ahead of us. So we took our lunch break, quote unquote, at 4 in the morning, and we were just jamming on our guitars, and I saw this girl in the corner drinking a very large cup of coffee. It was almost like a joke at first. Later on in the following days, I panned it out to be a real song.
And it really could be anywhere.
I think the appeal of it is that everybody has felt that they maybe in passing saw someone they'd want to get to know better. When I came back to New York, my friend Justin, who's the guitar player, he helped me finish the song. He composed the lead guitar section in the bridge of the song, and then my bassist Isaac also composed his bass part to it, and I really like to play that one.
Let's listen to Coffee Girl. This is Ben Sultan on WHUD.